Who's in detention? Oh, yeah. Right, he's still not free, even though we keep proving him innocent. Doesn't matter. You look as grim as always.
Mr. Edgeworth, I heard the story about the class trial.
Class trial? What do you mean?
He doesn't remember it either.
He did. His dad did get murdered like a month later, so it's distracting.
Don't remember?
And unlike him and Butts, or unlike
excuse me.
Unlike Phoenix for Edgeworth and Butts, it wasn't like a life-changing event where he's like, I'm going to become a defense attorney. It's just like a thing that happened. That was just all it did was it was just both of them acting in character how they always did, and so it was like low impact. Just Butts was just lazy, but good-natured, and Edgeworth was just Mr. Front of the class that likes to sit in the front.
With his little bow tie.
Yeah. No, I don't.
He didn't graduate to a neckerchief yet.
Oh yeah, I had a bow tie.
Your lunch money was stolen, wasn't it? In 3rd grade?
Is that going to be his character arc? We're going to get him to loosen up, and he's going to like get reacquainted with his emotions and everything, and he's going to put a bow tie on.
Oh. Did they each symbolize something different?
Yeah. Lunch money? Oh, right. Yes, I seem to remember something like that.
It was so unimportant that I don't care. Nick, I think you're the only one who really remembers.
Stop reminding me. Well, it probably only really mattered to me anyway.
Mr. Edgeworth didn't, you know? The trial was the reason Nick became a defense attorney.
Technically, he became a defense attorney because Edgeworth has a seedy-ass reputation. And he's like, no, my hero.
I don't think Nick wanted you to tell him that. It's kind of embarrassing, isn't it?
It's also not true.
Yeah.
Nick just said that he wanted to become a defense attorney because of what?
He wanted to meet up with him again?
Yeah, Edgeworth's reputation when he was already a prosecutor. Everything's confusing. Ridiculous. Gee, thanks.
Well, that is kind of ridiculous, Phoenix.
Fuck your emotions. I mean, the lunch money trial is a better reason to become a defense attorney than his real reason, which is I'm going to redefine my entire life just to like talk to some dude about what he's up to. The first time it's like, oh, he was my hero and I wanted to be like my hero.
Fucking speaking of anime, that's like the plot line of Ping Pong, the animation, where the one character becomes like basically like the best ping pong player that ever lived, and it turns out at the end when they're in like the finals, the only reason he wanted to do it was so he could play his best friend in the finals because he wanted to play with his best friend.
Aww.
So like his whole backstory was like not really wanting to win. He like literally just wanted to have a game of ping pong with his best friend, and he went through all this trouble to do it. It's really sweet.
That's the long con.
Yeah. The anime is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Because I think of like there's a Hikaru no Go has that kind of storyline where there's like this guy beats his rival at Go, but the only reason he was playing Go in the first place was just to like satisfy this spirit that's in his Go board. There's like a dead Go teacher from like that, like hundreds of years ago. That's like there's a bloodstain in the corner of his Go board, and like this spirit like haunts his Go board that he gets from his grandpa or whatever the fuck happened there. And so he was just like this poor spirit's just bored and just wants to play Go. So he's like, just to humor him, he was like letting him play through him. So it's kind of like a less dumb version of Yu-Gi-Oh actually. But he beats like the fucking like child prodigy at Go, and like his character arc is essentially that like after this big shocking thing where he beats him and he's like, how the fuck did this happen, all that, the main character kid actually wants to like actually learn Go and actually beat him for real next time instead of like cheat, because he totally cheated by like using this like
a haunted Go board.
Yeah, he's using a ghost to like, because he was just doing what the ghost told him to do. Yeah, that was a weird manga.
You gotta love the Nihon.
That was back when I used to read Shonen Jump, so I just read whatever the fuck they put in it, except for Bobobo, which I hated, and I stopped reading.
My ex-boyfriend loved Bobobo so much, I honestly didn't like it. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like Bobobo.
Every month it came in, and I would just skip Bobobo because it was just
the nose hair
noise.
The nose hair fighting was gross to me.
The whole thing's noise. None of it. Well, see, none of it meant any sense.
Speaking of what's that?
Bad localization.
Localization. So
Yeah.
that is like that one is one of the ones where they were just like they kind of like were like fuck it, and they just made up their own bullshit. Like
Yeah.
they didn't even try to localize exactly, because like making something with so much puns, it's almost impossible to localize it
Yeah.
correctly. So they just kind of ran with their own crazy ideas, and a lot of it misses like the original intention by so much.
Yeah.
It's
But it's not like you can.
but it's just like it just runs on like
you can't do anything about that though.
off
That's the problem.
the wall humor.
It's like as an audience member, you're like, well, oh yeah, I'll just read it in the original Japanese. Wait a minute.
I just remember Daifuku,
I'm not
man.
learning Japanese for Bobobo.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of other reasons I'd learn Japanese, but that's
Yeah.
not one of them.
Ma.
Mama.
Fucking video. That said, it does sound like the kind of thing you do. You haven't changed a bit, have you, Wright? So simple. To a fault, even. Well, maybe, yeah, but I think you changed too much, Edgeworth. Perhaps. Hey, Edgeworth. Why did you become a prosecutor anyway? You like winning or something? Because apparently they always win. How fucking soul-crushing to exist in a universe where one team, where like there's a whole legal system that's almost like, it's like a performance, like it's a sham, because one side wins basically every single case. So it's like no one's there expected, it feels like no one's even expected to try, because the outcome's just like preordained because of how consistently one-sided it is, both in Phoenix Wright and the real Japanese system of there being like a 99% conviction rate. It's like, okay, so why are we here? Why are we all even here? That's how that whiny guy managed to have a career. The shitty guy from the prologue.
Oh, the Glass Joe.
Yeah, the Glass Joe. It's like he's just been skating along in this system that just convicts people by default. So he's like, when he encountered any resistance, he was like, "What? What do I do?
Oh no." Well, it made me really afraid to live in that society. That's all I could say.
Yes. You used to look up to your dad. You said you wanted to be a defense attorney, right? I couldn't let myself deny reality like you. What do you mean? My father was taken from me, and you want me to defend criminals? That's not what that means. I'm sorry, Wright, but I'm not that good of a person.
One suspect was apprehended in your father's murder, right?
Why would a good person defend criminals? Those sentences didn't make any sense. The whole premise is that they're not criminals.
Well, you know, I keep like.
That's why you defend them.
All of this is so just shady and gray, because these are both two sides of the same coin. In every case, whether you're defending or prosecuting, one person is, like, in reality, probably guilty, and the other person's probably innocent. And it's like you don't really get to choose who's on what side.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of do your best, not caring whether that person
they've got this whole
on
shitty,
your side or not.
They've got this whole shitty guilty until proven innocent system that's like a nightmare.
Well, they have to make these characters likable too. So it's like they're trying really hard to like make it seem like defense attorneys are always good people because they're defending, but you could be defending someone who definitely did a crime, and it's like, does that make you a good person? Not really.
I'm waiting for when that happens.
I was gonna say I don't. Maybe. I wonder if there'll be a case where we get someone who we think is initially innocent, and then we have to like be like, wait a minute, and then we prove them guilty during the trial. Like we change our.
I'd be curious to see, because like in the Phoenix, like if you're sitting here and it's your job to like come up with the next Phoenix Wright case, you're always trying to think of like, what's the interesting twist I can do this time? It's like, oh, this time you're on trial.
The judge.
This time the prosecutor's on trial.
Whoa.
It's like this time the defendant's actually guilty. Like it would be like a thing you'd probably do eventually when you're kind of trying to make like original outcomes and things along the way.
I already said that.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, the man trapped in the elevator with my father. His name was Yanni Yogi.
Yanni Yogi.
I think we said that before, but it's a really funny name.
Yogi Berra.
And he's like, oh, he's not quite. I was thinking like, for a second there, like that he was a park ranger. He has work at a park.
No, Yogi Bear's not the one who works at the park. Yogi Bear's the bear.
Yeah, I was thinking of Smokey.
Yogi Berra is a baseball player.
I was thinking of Smokey, not Yogi the Bear.
Yeah, he's the forest fire guy.
Yep, only you can defend against forest fires and not wear a shirt, kids.
I'm a furry, kids. Does this turn you on?
Is this advertisement awakening something in you?
I wonder how many people learned that they were furry because of Yogi or because of Smokey the Bear. He's got some muscles on him. He's pretty yoked.
Because he's he feels like a riff on the blue bison guy. Or the blue bull guy.
What guy?
Like there's a big lumberjack giant man that has a blue bull.
No, but the bull isn't usually anthropomorphic.
No, but Yogi just feels like the next step from that character type.
You're talking about Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan's a person.
This is Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan. or the bounty paper towel guy. The guy with the plaid shirt. My grandma always had a crush on him. He has a mustache. On the bounty paper towels, there's like some buff dad with like a mustache and a plaid shirt. And my grandma was always like, I love men with mustaches, hee hee.
I wonder how many brands are designed around
Mr. Clean.
You wanting to marry whoever's on the cover.
Mr. Clean. Mrs. Butterworth. They took the girl off the Land O'Lakes butter.
The what butter? The
Land O'Lakes butter. I heard that they're taking they have a Native American woman on the front.
Oh.
They're taking her off of there. Which is probably the right thing to do.
I don't remember what EA is.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, it's always if you're just co-opting somebody else's shit for your brand, which is likely the case.
Yeah, it basically has like a woman who's dressed like a generic Pocahontas sitting on the front holding butter. So it's like, I don't think they're doing the Native American community any good by her being there.
It's likely not made by the Native American community either. It's just like,
it's not.
I'm just gonna look at other people's cultures and just use them as mascots. Like, those are people, and they're going to see it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what your plan was.
I like the one with the deer on it.
The deer.
There's the challenge butter.
I promise you, I have not been paying attention to all the butter brands.
Oh, I like art.
You're like working down the list, and I'm like, I can't believe it's not deer. He had to be the shooter, any way you look at it, even though there was a bullet in the window, implying they could have been shot from outside.
Yeah, look at it that way.
It's impossible the shooter could have been anyone else. Like, we've been given no evidence about that case so far, and even Ivan was like, there's a bullet hole in the window. That's interesting.
Yeah,
that detail's established immediately, and it seems like it might be important later. Although I thought parents were going to be important, and they weren't, so...
Yeah, so who knows?
Yet, he was found innocent. The defense attorney got him off the hook. That'd be Robert Hammond. On that day, 15 years ago. The three of us were trapped in that elevator for 5 hours. When we were rescued, we all suffered oxygen deprivation. I had lost all memory of the murder. Lost your memory?
Or did he like relapse and forget his memory again this time?
Oh my god, he just blacks out and murders people. He's been doing it for like 20 years. He's killed dozens of people.
He's prosecuted people who did murders that he actually did?
Yeah, and he dumps them all in that lake.
Oh gosh.
Even now, I can't recall what happened in that elevator. That was the crux of Yogi's attorney's argument in court. He claimed Gianni Yogi had been not of sound mind due to the oxygen deprivation. Yogi was released due to a lack of evidence. Innocent.
That doesn't make him innocent, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it not guilty, which is a different term. That's when I changed my mind. I started to hate defense attorneys. That's, I mean, yeah, you were a kid and your father died, but it's... So there's context, but it is like an incredibly juvenile way to look at the entire court system, is to be like... I hate literally all defense attorneys as a concept because I didn't like the verdict of one case. That means they're all evil and wrong every time. What's your relationship with Von Karma? He's my teacher and a man who deserves respect.
And commands it forcefully.
Yeah, he commands respect. I don't know what deserves. I learned everything I know of courtroom techniques from him.
Oh, he's an asshole in court. Like,
yeah, he sucks.
so he's like my sister was to you, Nick. But your sister is much nicer and like really articulate and smart, and not just like an asshole who demands
she had
things.
morals.
Yeah.
And standards.
Mia, I like how we only met Mia for a short period of time, but I get the impression she was like really good.
Yeah.
Like I believe it. The story they made me believe it.
We also do keep re-meeting her.
Yeah. But
she keeps coming back.
She's not super involved, but I just get the impression that she was a really good lawyer.
Because everyone misses her.
Yeah.
We're not going to miss Von Karma when he dies in this case.
I'll kind of miss him.
Daddy.
Daddy.
He is a perfectionist in all things. All things. Just looks into space.
Oh. I'm gonna look into space too.
In court and his personal life.
See?
He is obsessed with doing everything perfectly.
Perfectly, huh? See, Maya feels it too.
In all the cases he has taken on, none were left unsolved. And not one suspect was ever declared innocent. Ever. That sounds like the opposite of perfection.
But that's...
Hot bullshit.
I know.
I know. It's possible some of the suspects were indeed innocent. However, it is impossible for us to accurately determine that in every case, especially if we don't give a fuck. We just care about winning over the truth. All Von Karma does in his job, to find the suspect guilty perfectly. In any case, it's nigh well impossible to find a weakness in him. I mean, he didn't really seem to have much of anything to go on evidence-wise in this case. I'm not really that impressed, honestly. He just uses theatrics to disguise the fact that he's a shitty lawyer. Just like you, Edgeworth! Should a weakness appear, he would do everything in his power to make it go away. He's insecure like that. Edgeworth? If what you're saying is true, you're headed for a guilty sentence tomorrow.
He's right. Now's no time to praise the enemy, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's a strange situation I find myself, I'll admit. No kidding. You got a problem. You're gonna die.
Yeah, that is a problem, dude. My dude.
That's from Russian Terminator.
Russian Terminator?
Yeah, it's just a baffling B flick.
Is it called Russian Terminator?
I think so.
Wow, I'm so... okay.
Hey, it's your dad.
Nick, no. That's a photo of his father. Don't show him that.
We're trying to solve the case, damn it. You're right. Now probably isn't a good time to dredge up those memories.
Just be a jerk. Be like, look at this.
What is it? Nothing. Huh? As if he somehow didn't hear all that. It made a sound. It was that case that changed my life. Kind of like what an adult would have as a backstory, Phoenix. Not like that time I was put on trial by a bunch of kids. My father was murdered.
that does sound a little bit more serious, but...
Let's compare backstories, cock.
Things that happen when you're a kid really affect you. There's legitimacy to his backstory, but it's not as impressive, not gonna lie.
Edgeworth was also a kid. The same age. There was that
yeah.
month. Yeah.
That's definitely... Yeah. Fine, Edgeworth.
And tomorrow, on December 28th, its statute of limitations runs out. Alright, so we know where the story's going. Tomorrow we're gonna convict the real murderer from the DL6 incident.
Yeah, I wonder
who's also the murderer in this incident.
Who is old
like,
man?
You can't just fucking drop that bombshell casually and have it not like give away everything. This ancient case that this entire thing keeps getting brought up about is like the backbone of this entire, not even this case, but this game. Well, the statute of limitations runs out tomorrow, the last available day of this current trial. Third day of the trial. If
you're a younger person and you just literally learned what the statute of limitations was because of this trial, you might I don't know, you might not be at the point where you're putting all this together yet.
Yeah.
They literally taught us what the statute of limitations was, assuming that we might not know.
Yeah, but that's a little more reason to be like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
But if I was the killer, just wait a couple more days.
I know. Why do this so close to the deadline? Just wait a little bit longer.
If they know the statute of limitations on their own murder trial, it's like maybe don't reopen this wound literally on the last second, unless you're just fucking daring them to catch you.
Ha ha ha. Villains do that all the time.
Yeah. And tomorrow on December 28th, its statute of limitations runs out. Tomorrow? Could that be a coincidence?
No.
Yeah, no. But even if the case is finally closed on paper, it will never be erased from my memory. It'll never be closed in my heart.
Aww. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. Poor baby. Baby Edgy. Point the gun at him.
I can't tell you anything about the fucking gun my handprints are on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're telling me you can't say anything about that? What are you showing me that picture for? No reason. I was impressed by your deduction in the trial today.
Was that yesterday?
No.
Oh.
We always do the trial in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go back to the agency, and then we try to get evidence for tomorrow's trial. It's easy to forget because
we never see the sun go down.
Yeah, and it's how the whole thing feels structured. So I made the mistake of saying we're gonna skip to tomorrow, god damn it, when it's actually
it's today,
15 minutes later at the office.
Yeah.
Granted, you were at the edge of your rope, but still.
Nick, he noticed.
Senpai. Haha. I'm not sure I can help you with that. My turn is smashed.
Mine's much bigger. I can't help you with your very tiny attorney's badge.
Can we just... looks like the guy from the flashback. It's so distracting. Alright, back to the one place. Or there's a few places. He's out.
He's always
again.
out. He's
quick, steal a statue. We can slowly pilfer all of his art until he has nothing left.
He'll be a broken man.
Yeah, and he'll just resent every other lawyer that's out to get him.
When does he work anyway?
Not now. Now, don't be harsh. Guess we'll have to come back later.
He sucks.
Maybe he's working right now.
Yeah, maybe he's at a court case right now.
He could be at a court case. I don't see anything I want to examine, really.
Yeah, the art's gone. So
weird.
What?
Yeah, weird list of options.
Maybe you have to go back there and then move. Yeah, why does it do that? It's weird that it does that.
Yeah, it only makes sense when you're in a place like the park or the movie studio where there's a hub of connected locations. You have to go back to the main gate to leave.
Yeah.
But the city seems to be organized like that, which is incredibly confusing.
Yeah.
Looks like Detective Gumshoe hasn't gotten back yet.
Gumshoe? He won't be coming back today. Oh, really? He said there was some guy he had to arrest by tomorrow.
The boat shop caretaker.
I forgot they're all looking for him right now.
Yeah.
He shouted something about catching him if it's the last thing I do, pal.
Pal. Good luck, Gumshoe. Yeah, that guy's definitely the murderer.
Pal.
And he's aware he's the murderer. The whole like memory lapse thing's just lies.
Yeah, he dipped out hard. Like he was like, peace.
Yeah. Hey, pal. Long time no see.
Oh, Detective Gumshoe.
Close one today, huh? I got so worked up I snapped my tie in half.
What?
Sorry about that.
How the fuck?
No prob, pal. Thanks to you. We now know who really did it. I like to think he just like got so tense and like vein bulgy that his neck just like snapped his tie.
He out of it
with his neck.
Well, you can tear.
Flexed his neck.
You can tear a tie. You can't snap it. Like it's not like a piece of spaghetti noodle, like a dry piece of noodle. Like
listen,
snap
Gumshoe's
it.
not very bright.
Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
a bit of a wet noodle himself.
Tee-hee?
Tee-hee.
You mean the boat shop caretaker?
Look, I'll make you a promise. I'll have that scoundrel in my custody by trial time tomorrow. Come what may. It's my duty to you as a police officer. Now, I'm off to catch me a criminal. Face.
Detective Gumshoe sure is active today.
Oh, one more thing. No one can go into the woods today.
The woods?
Where Lotta was camping? The woods are off limits to camping, and apparently the park ranger found out. He got pretty mad. No one can go in for a while.
Well, I think as a police officer, you guys have the right to go in there regardless.
We're a police officer and a defense attorney. We got shit to do. We're not camping.
Yeah. I guess Lotta's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think Lotta got in trouble for camping, so they wanted to pay off that sign from earlier. But they also don't want to draw that area without the camping equipment, so they're just gonna not let us walk over.
You know what? That is what it is. You're right.
That's why. Anyway, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Thankfully, that site was not really relevant to evidence.
At least not at this point.
Yeah. It only really was related to Lotta, who... all that she amounted to was just having a photo.
And also wasting time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So much time.
Oh yeah.
Even after a whole day of wasting her time, she's like, prove to me the Loch Ness Monster's not real. I'm like, I will strangle this woman.
This is not what we have time for.
Yeah. Huh? The steel eyesore is missing again.
Eyesore?
Looks like the hot dog stand is closed too. Was it ever open? Has this place even been open to any customers this whole time?
Has there ever been a customer since
Yeah.
the murder? I guess Larry's too busy worrying about Mr. Edgeworth to show up for work. I don't think that's it. I think he's a lazy punk.
Yeah. Punk ass. Guess Larry has today off.
He was pretty happy about saving Mr. Edgeworth.
True. We owe him big. Tweet, tweet.
No one's gonna sit here on a cold day like today. Well, unless they were eating a samurai dog. Blah, blah, blah. Do you remember getting those little whistles that you fill with water? They're shaped like a bird, and you put water in them, and then when you blow through them, it makes that sound.
No.
Yeah, it sounds just like that.
I remember slide whistles.
No, these ones are ones like I would get them at like an arcade near like at our local mall, and it's just like this little plastic bird, and you put water in the body of the bird, and so when you blow through it, it makes like a whistle, but also like gurgles, so it makes that little like that bird sound, that little like that. It's cool. So someone out there knows what I'm talking about.
Start sounding like those sounds that cats make when they're trying to attract birds to them.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
I think so.
The little clicking, like click, 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 click.
Well, like there's I've heard Marty's cat Whiskey would straight up do like, it would like start as like a purring like gurgle and then start going to like a chirping until it started like sounding like cat, like just bird noises basically.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you're talking about.
Little shitty bird noises.
It sounds like cackling.
I always kind of thought they were trying to attract the birds to them. So
Maybe
they could like pounce on them.
I just thought they were being little
So they just make a mistake.
sassy assholes.
But of course, they're in their case, like the cat's just indoors, so it's like it's hopeless because there's a window. But they're still trying. Because yeah, like Whiskey would just sit at the sliding glass door in the backyard and just stare out at the birds and just like do weird chirpy noises at them for like hours. Cats are weird.
Cats are weird. As I say that,
Not like you, Kiki.
I was gonna say that. I say that, but my dog's freaking bizarre.
You're so normal and not weird.
It's just fucking weird.
That old cat. Yep.
I never imagined he might be the real murderer.
Really? Really,
Not
Maya?
really.
Glad we're all working on the same level here. Oh no, it's the guard lady. She's back. I know that clearing of the throat anywhere.
Oh, him.
Oh, it's him. I was like, I don't know. Hello. What might you be doing here? Oh, for a walk, huh? Oh, the days of my youth. Like the scent of fresh lemon, you see.
He said that earlier, too.
Yeah, it's...
I don't exactly get it, but whatever.
I don't know.
Mr. Grassberg. This is no time for idle reminiscing. Mr. Edgeworth's trial ends tomorrow.
That is true, yes.
What are you doing here?
But, from what I saw of the today's trial, Edgeworth should be fine, right?
Are you the murderer?
Yeah. Well, I'm not so sure about that. Oh, what do you mean by that? Well, I'm not sure. If you find anything out, come by my office at once. I may be able to offer you some assistance. Thanks. Bye.
What do you think Mr. Grassberg was doing here anyway?
Who knows? Maybe he just likes the park.
Yeah.
You ever think about that?
Yeah.